Hey, 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 you know what time it is.
It's time for the Heart to Heart Journey to Unconditional Love Podcast.
That's right, and I'm your host, Delay Bloomer. That is my co-host, Harlan Brown. And Harlan Brown, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good, man. It's been a minute.
I know it has been. It is.
Hiatus,
It's
hiatus.
been
I mean, we was on a series, so we're about to start the new series, and I'm just so happy about this new series we're about to start. But before
yeah,
then, what's been going on with you?
uh, life, just living and just living, just living, just
No,
living.
okay. I mean, I get it. So I am gonna put in my shameless plug. We are
Let's.
rocking the MEW scholarships that we've been giving out. We added two more students for this semester. Oh my God, I can't just it's just been a blessing to those families. It's been a blessing to us.
That's
Cop a shirt, cop either
yeah,
one of these or cop one of our heart to heart shirts. Donate. We definitely can use the funds. We want to put these kids through school, make sure that they have a couple of dollars in their pockets. So I know, shameless plug, but I'm the late bloomer. This is what we do, and this is our mission. This is our purpose. This is what God has given us to do. So that's why we do this podcast, not
right.
only to uplift the kingdom, but also to help students so that they can see their dreams and see their education extended and not having it halted because of financial reasons. So,
Right.
shameless plug. So, we're gonna get right into what we got to get in today. So, I hope everybody loved our series on communication.
I think
Um,
it's good, and if even if you didn't love it, I hope you took away just one little thing that you can do better to improve the communication between you and your significant other, and communication. Period. Like I think it's just important. So
it's very important. I mean, it's just everything that we do. This is a form of communication that hopefully we're reaching you guys, and you are allowing us to come into your homes each week to just learn a little bit more about what God has put on our heart as far as relationships are concerned. Hopefully it's helping your relationship, not only just the relationship with others, your own relationship, your personal relationship with yourself, and your personal relationship with God. A lot of people don't realize that they can use this information and as a building block on how to reach God, how to get to God, because a lot of people don't have that personal relationship with God. So a lot of things that we say, they're just saying, "Oh, what is this about? Oh, that God thing, whatever." But once you experience a personal relationship with God, some of
so
the things
different.
that we talk about, you can talk to God with, and
Yes,
that it'll definitely help you to become more comfortable and understanding of what He does, and you'll see the blessings just pour down. As as the prayers go up, blessings pour down, and we pray all the time about you guys, about the podcast, about everything. We're not looking for accolades or anything. We're looking just to uplift the kingdom, and that brings satisfaction to us, and we just want to have that. So, without further ado, I know we've been on our soapbox today, but it's just information that we want to get out.
it's
Um,
definitely
brand
needed.
new, yeah, yeah, and we just celebrated Happy Valentine's Day. So, happy Valentine's Day to you there, Harlan
Happy
Brown. I hope you had a great one. Um, you know, and doing that, we came up with something. It was really interesting that we wanted to do another series because we love the communication series, and we came up with this: I versus I. Which
yeah,
one are you? Is the name of the podcast, right? But
exactly.
me being too lazy or getting back in the game, I forgot to write it down to put it on the screen. So
That's
I
okay.
versus I is going. I'm gonna just show you. It's going to be image versus identity. Image
Yeah.
versus identity. Because a lot of times I think Harlan Brown, I think a lot of people get those mixed up. What do you think?
I think a lot of times, not only do we get them mixed up, but we intertwine them to think that they are one thing, and it's not.
Yeah. And so we just here to clarify that because it means a lot, and it can help you not only with yourself but in relationships that you have,
Exactly.
especially because image comes out when you're sending your representative. When you're
Definitely
trying to meet somebody
representative.
and they're trying to get and not even trying when you're meeting somebody and they want to get to know you, and you send your representative, that's image. That's all
Yeah,
image, you know. But we'll
100%.
go into those definitions and everything that we have. So, you want to get right into it? What do you think? So, this is our new series. It's going to be I versus I, which when we say I versus I, we say an image versus identity.
Right.
So, the first thing we want to do to make sure that everybody has a clear understanding of where we're coming from, we're going to give you some simplistic, because I need simplicity. I know I have. I feel I'm college educated or whatever, but I love simplicity. I don't like to use a lot of big words to show that I'm educated or do whatever. So we want to make this podcast very simple. So even a 5-year-old can take the what we're talking about and use it in their relationships
Right.
with trying to,
Right.
meet new people on the playground and things like that. So so we're going to start out with image, because that's the first thing that we have, because I think a lot of people have a lot of image. And the definition of image, you want to read that for the audience, Harlan Brown?
Sure. Image is convincing people who you are.
Yeah. Make sure you get that. Make sure
Right.
you get
Think
that.
about that. Are you trying to convince people who you are? And I think that's a lot, especially in this day and age with social media and all of the things that we see people doing. Um, we create this, we create this thing around us that we, it's marketing, but at the end of the day, like, are you seriously who you're marketing yourself to be, or are you, who are you when nobody's looking?
That's funny. You started it out saying what you're trying to
Right,
tell people who you are. So you
right.
know what you do when
And
you
it
get
is,
tried,
but it is trying because you're not being genuine. That's a
and you're
try.
not moving forward.
And you can't move forward in that if I'm trying to persuade you that I am this image who I'm creating, right? Then that is a try, because I'm not being genuine. So I'm not moving forward. I'm creating something on the side. Like, I'm not being
Yeah.
direct and being true and to doing, because who I am, because I can't do it because I'm creating it as I go. So
Yeah,
to
but
me,
you're using some really good words today. Persuading. If you got to persuade, then you already know that's not.
right,
You got to persuade somebody that you're a good person.
right.
That, to me, that doesn't make sense, and that's what image is all about. That you're really trying to convince people who you are, as opposed to being who you are. So we're going to go into what identity is. Identity is being who you are. You don't have to do any persuading. You
And you
don't
don't
have
have to
to try. Right. Because
you don't have to
again, when you
try
try,
to
you're
be
going to
who
be in
you
the
are.
same
You
place
just
anyway.
be.
Yeah. Say that again so the audience hear you.
I said, I'm sorry, you don't have to try to be who you are. You just be. And that's everything. Just be who you are.
Yeah. Just be. Just be. So some of the questions around this identity versus this image versus identity, Harlan Brown, we're gonna kind of go through, and like I said, I think this series is going to be even greater than the other one, because people use this interchangeably and intertwine it and think it's the one and the same, and it really isn't. So let's go with this image as, do you approve of me? Isn't that
Right.
interesting?
Like,
Isn't that interesting?
that is it all the way. Like, that's what my image is. That's what I'm creating. I'm creating approval by everyone. Um I'm creating this I'm creating this image that everybody is going to be like, oh, this person is so great. Like, so I'm creating that, and I'm doing it for your approval, because every like, every click, every oh my God, you're amazing is going to increase my image, right? So now I have to polish it up even more. So I'm constantly creating this this character, this person, um this image that I want you to see and I want everybody to approve of.
So why do we need approval? Why do we
That's
need someone to approve who we are? Okay, so audience, I want y'all to understand the question. Do you
right.
approve of me? Like, if you have to ask somebody that question, then you already know that something is not right, because you should know who you are, right?
Yeah,
And who
absolutely.
you are, whether they approve of you or not, you're still going to be who you are, correct?
That's correct. That
Or
is,
you're going to change to be something else so that you can get that approval.
I think a lot of times people do alter and change to be more, to be approved, to have a bigger approval circle, a bigger, a bigger range of approval. But I also think that, I think when people, sometimes people come together with people who maybe they admire, people who they like, and they look at themselves as being maybe smaller than, and that's insecurities, and we all have them in some shape, form, or fashion. Um, and we want to be better, right? So we want to start announcing accolades. We want to start announcing this or that or whatever it may be, in order to make my image a little bit bigger, to fit in the room where I think that my image as me being just me is a little too small. And I think sometimes people do that, and I get it, and I'm not, and like, we all do it in some shape, form, or fashion. But I think this is more about what we're talking about today, is looking at it and looking at why. Like, you asked the question, why do I need approval? Like, why do I need to be approved? And I think that's something, if we dig a little deeper in to find out, we will see that we actually don't. Like, we get so much more in our authentic selves, in our authentic being,
Yeah.
and we generate and we attract the people who are genuinely attracted to who we are as a person, rather than this image. Because when we put up too much of an image and we come out as this perfect person, everybody who we meet feels like they have to be better than, or they have to be perfect in order to be in our surroundings, and that should never be the case.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think those are good points that you talked about there, Harlem Brown. And I give examples. So one of the examples that I probably want to give is when you meet somebody, you're looking for approval. Um, Somebody will say, "Hey, I like how you wear your hair," uh, and so in order to please them, you wear your hair like that all the time. But you really don't want to. But when you're around them, you wear it that way so that you can get the approval of them. And
Right.
you might not like this style, and especially have the style all the time. But that's some of the things that we do. Or if somebody likes, like if if I like sports and you don't, but you like, oh yeah, I love basketball, just so that you can, whatever, you sitting there hating it, but you smile like, and then be like, are you having a good time? Yeah, yeah, I'm having a good time. One of those things. So just to get the approval, and that's where I think a lot of people don't really understand. That's the difference between image and identity, when it comes to you're putting on an image as opposed to being who you are, standing who you are, and saying, I really don't like basketball, but because you like it, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna be here, and we'll see what happens. As
Right.
opposed to saying, yes, I like it, and take me, I want to
I
go.
love
Just
it.
because I
Yeah,
want to
I
be around
can't
you.
wait to get there. This is the best. And like,
Yeah.
we have
And
to do
and
this.
you know what's funny? It comes off as a good thing, and then you can see the fakeness, and you can be like, oh, well, you really didn't like this. And then
Right.
now, how do I look at you? How do I look at you? Like, well, you just gave me an image. You ain't really giving me who you are. So I don't
Right.
think you're not even showing me your authentic self. So, but we're going to go further into that. I wanted to get this last topic in there about image versus identity. And identity states, I know who I am. So think about this when you talk about image versus identity. In image, you have to ask a question.
Right.
In identity, you have the answer.
Right. Right.
So which
Yeah.
one do you want to be? That's why we say I versus I. Which I do you want to be? because I don't want to question who I am. I want to state and know who I am. And that's what identity does. Image, you have to question who I am and do you approve of me? Because you're not validated until somebody says yes or no. Think about that. You have to wait on others to figure out who you are in image. Do you want to live your life in that way?
And that's the scary part about that. Seeking validation and living between what I heard somebody say, it was a minister one time, and he said, he said, I never live in between the applause, right? Because if I live there, my life is going well as long as this is happening. But when it stops, then what happens?
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm trying to fix myself because I'm broken. But were you ever broken? You just got caught up in the applause. That's all it was. You got caught up in the applause and you just wanted them to keep going. Right. And to me, that was just, when he said that, it was just such a perfect, just perfect how he stated it, because I think it hit so many people when people look at, oh, I have to look like this, I have to be like this, I have to say that I have this, and I have to say that I have that in order for somebody to talk to me. Yeah. But what if I'm just who I am? What if I say, hey, yeah, how are you? Nice to meet you. I'm Harlan Brown. That's not enough? Or if that's not enough for your attention, or if that's not enough accolades, or if that's not enough, then guess what? That's all I have to give you, because I'm introducing me genuinely, not, hey, I'm Harlan Brown of the Harlem Globetrotters. That's, you just doing all kind of extra, so I can get the, oh, real. Like now, all of a sudden, now you want to lean in. Lean in because you want to know somebody, not lean in because of what they have. And I think that's a big thing that, especially nowadays, that people look at and they try to decipher, like, okay, well, is this person worth me going, listening any further? Because they just said their name. Like, what else?
Well, I tell you what you just said, I hope that's a short, because that should be a short, or what do you call it, a little snippet or whatever. You call them shorts, right? So hopefully that's one of the shorts that we have played this week. I know we have to move on. I know it gets good, but we're running out of time. We just want to get to a couple of things. So about image, it's all external. Mm-hmm. All external. Anything about image is all external. What do you have? What do you have? That's the first thing that I think of. Image is everything about the outer appearance and everything. So what is it? Number two is image is performance based. So absolutely. If you don't do well, then your image is bad. And does that define who you are? Like,
exactly.
I mean, really, do you want to live? You want to be this eye? You want to be the eye for image? And then three, it's approval driven. You're just waiting for approval. You can't even move forward until somebody says, yes, I approve, or I don't really like that. Go back to the drawing board and try again. You know what I mean? Right. And you know what's significance about the word image? It's always about trying.
Thank you.
It's always about trying. There's nothing definitive about the word image.
Nope.
And is that how you want to live your life? Just think about that. I mean, just take a couple of seconds, and we coming hard. We coming hard this year. We said that. Y'all know this is a heart to heart, and this is what will happen. So when we say that, and I get to that point, we gotta have a scripture. So here we go. You want to read that scripture for the audience, Harlan Brown?
Sure. Man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart.
Yeah. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And that's 1 Samuel 16:7. Tells you right there, image versus identity. What does God look for? Because are you trying to please man, or are you trying to please God? If you're trying to please God, you have an identity, because he's given you the identity. If you're trying to please man, then you have an image, because that's the only thing that man looks at is your outward appearance when it comes to who you are.
Right.
and determining who you are. And do you want to be that?
That's a hard thing to live up to, because it's not, like you said, it's always trying. So it's constantly like that it's constantly moving. It's constantly making you go harder, try harder, look harder,
Yeah,
rethink it,
yeah,
redo this,
yeah,
redo that,
yeah.
get better, get like not that good, but get like, so everybody's opinion is starting to come to form this person that you never actually be able to become, because this is not real.
It's not real. But
It's
think
not
about this. Think about where you see it the most. You see it in everybody wants to be a star.
real.
Think about how many stars have just spiraled out of control because of wanting to uphold an image that they had.
Right.
You
Wanting
know,
to
they
maintain.
couldn't be who they are because the outward appearance is who everybody thought they were. So they felt and still feel that they have to live up to that.
That's a
And
sad
if they're not showing that, then they're going to lose the approval, they're going to lose the ratings, it's going to affect their money, it's going to do a lot of things, as opposed to being solid and on a foundation that is them with identity. And we're going to go into identity. Believe me, we're going to go into identity next
absolutely.
week. But right now, like I said, we just wanted to just kind of give you a background of what I versus I is, image versus identity, let you know what the definition of image is, let you know what the definitions of identity is. And now you have an opportunity to go back home after you read this and say, or after you listen to this and say, which one am I? Which one do I want to be? And
Right.
if you look at 1 Samuel 16:7, do you want to be on the side of man, or do you want to be on the side of God, who looks at your heart and really doesn't care about your appearance, outward appearance? Because when he looks at your heart and he see your heart is pure, your heart is doing the right thing, your outside appearance, it just glows with it. It goes
Exactly.
hand in hand. But
Exactly.
when you try, and again, trying to please man, because all they do is look at the outward appearance, you're going to be in the same place. And a lot of those people are in the same place, have the same problems, have the same everything, because they don't have an identity of who they are. So I'm gonna give you the last words there, Harlan Brown. What you got for me?
I just think that this is an awesome way to just start to think a little bit more about how you are presenting yourself. And like you said, God looks at the heart. Now, if God is looking at the heart, and I say this a lot, people criticize other people, or like, how did this person get where they got, or how did this person end up with who they ended up with? It's because of their heart. It's because their beauty radiates from their heart, from their spirit, from the identity, not because of an image that they created. It's just them being them. And
Yeah,
people gravitate to authenticity more than they can gravitate toward an image, because they know that they can't connect to an image, because that image is forever changing.
yeah,
So be true to yourself and be authentic to yourself, and lead let your heart do things from the heart, not from what you have or what you think your image is and how you want people to perceive you.
yeah. But there it is. Again, that should be one of them shorts too. You've been doing a lot of good shorts today. I give it to you. You came locked and loaded and ready after after your vacation. I'm proud of you. Well, but you know how we end all our podcasts. You know how do we end the podcast? Trying to do something will keep you in your same place, but when you actually do something, your place has no limitation. I am your host, Lay Bloomer. That is my co-host, Olive Brown, and we see you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah.